welcome back to my channel. So today I decided, per request, I did ask you guys what videos you wanted to see, and curling my hair was one of the biggest requests. I'm going to show you guys how I curl my hair, the tips and tricks that I do, the do's, the don'ts. But what's so funny is usually when I curl my hair, you know, people always ask me questions, how do you curl your hair so well? How does it last? A lot of my clients say that they leave my salon and they can't seem to get the same curls at home. So I'm definitely excited to make this video because I know that if you are one of my clients or if you have any problem curling your hair, that you're going to be able to solve some of those problems today. I'm going to take you through some of the favorite products that I use, the different curling irons, why you need different curling irons, and the whole rundown. Let's do this. First thing we're gonna do when we're thinking about curling our hair is obviously we need to protect it from heat. So I already pre-blow dried my hair. Typically I just kind of do like a quick blow dry. I don't do anything like styled, like with tons of volume or anything like that. I tend to get my volume in my curling iron. I did use a heat protectant. I did just use my Revlon blow dryer brush, and I kind of just, you know, pushed it down so it's not frizzy, but I didn't want it to be too straight because I have to manipulate it and actually get my hair to curl. I'm gonna go through the different curling irons that I have and why I have them. The first one that I have is by, I think it's called Kristin Ess. This I did get at Target. It was about 60 bucks. It's huge. I know, you guys are probably like, what the heck? But this curling iron in particular is great if you do like that flippy blow dry look. So this isn't gonna actually curl your hair. It's just gonna flip those ends, leave a little bit of bounce. I definitely think that this is a great investment to have if you're not always trying to have your hair curled, but you do want a little bit of volume and a little bit of bounce. So this is by Kristin Ess, 60 bucks, Target. I love the barrel, it's gold. I like the aesthetic of this curling iron. I think it's beautiful. Definitely worth the money. I know that there are different ones out there, but this is just one that I've tried that I really, really love. So first one. The second one is by GHD, and this one I really love because of how soft it is. Like when I put my hair in this clamp, it just glides through. And this is actually the one I'm going to be using today to show you guys. It does have a timer, so it will turn off after some amount of time, which is great because we all know sometimes us girls kind of just walk out the bathroom in a rush and it will automatically turn off. So that is super clutch. And then I do have one that is a little bit more popular. It's just by Hot Tools. It has a clamp as well. This one is a little janky, I'm not gonna lie. I've had this one for a little bit, but I did get it at TJ Maxx, and I use this one quite often as well, but today I'm going to use the GHD one. And the reason why it matters your barrel size is because obviously the bigger the barrel, the bigger the curl. A lot of people tend to think that they can just get a certain type of curl with, like, for instance, like this. If you went in and took this big of a section with this curling iron, that's not gonna work. Typically what needs to happen is you need to take the width of the curling iron, so this width, with the width of the section. So even that would be too big. It needs to be the exact width to get the right curl. So sometimes we take too little of sections, which takes for freaking ever, we know that. And sometimes we take too big of sections. So the best thing to do is to make sure that you're figuring out what type of barrel you have to figure out how big your curls are gonna be and what sections you should be taking. I'm gonna section my hair, but before I do that, I'm just gonna run through the products that I have on this table to kind of give you guys an example of the things that I would use in any occasion. The first one is something that I actually use on my clients all the time. This is by Bedhead After Party. This is one of my favorite products. It definitely helps tame the hair from like frizziness. It's definitely nice to use after you curl your hair or even before if you want a little bit of slip, like within the curling iron. So I use this. You'll see how I use it. It is amazing. It smells amazing. Definitely something to look into if you want a little bit of a more of a paste and less of an oil. That's number one. I have my Monet Refinish Hairspray. This is a really great product as well. It doesn't get too hard. This is a light to medium hold. It has Rejuvenique oil in it, which is that oil that I raved about in my makeup video. So this is one of my favorites. This is dry shampoo. So if you tend to have oily roots, obviously we know that's what dry shampoo is for, but sometimes if our hair has a little bit of too much slip, then it's good to add some dry shampoo and some texturizing spray. If you have very fine hair and you feel like your hair does not hold curls or they fall out really fast, then you definitely need a texturizing spray. This is gonna help more so hold the curls than, like, for instance, a hairspray. Hairspray is actually going to weigh down your curls. So if you know that your hair does not hold curls, do not bathe in hairspray because it's just going to weigh them down and they are going to flatten. Dry texturizing spray, dry shampoo, these are things that are just going to add a little bit of texture to the hair and less slip. The last thing is a glossy shine mist. I just like my hair to be really shiny all the time. I'm going to go ahead and part my hair and then we're going to get straight into it. I like to start in the back, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up the bottom half of my hair. And I have a lot of hair, so I kind of know how to go about this. So I'm going to take it, and I have two different clips. I did one side, and I'm going to do this one as well. So I'm going to just go ahead and put this here. I have my two sides out, and I have my curling iron. The hairs on the bottom, I'm not too particular about because I know they're going to be underneath. So you see I have my section here. It's about the same width, if you guys can see, maybe even a little smaller. You could go smaller, but you can never go bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, and I'm very used to like the heat of a curling iron, so I'm not going to necessarily use any gloves because I think my hands are like burn prone or prone to be burned because I don't feel it anymore. It's just sad. Okay, so here's another trick. When your hair is done curling, you should be able to feel the heat on this section right here. As soon as you feel the heat, that's how you know it's already worked through the entire section. If you don't feel the heat, your curls are not ready yet. Okay, so now I'm gonna just drop it. And here's my curl. So you could do two things. I already know that I'm gonna brush these out, but I'm gonna go ahead and let this cool, and I'm gonna go on to the next section. If you know that it looks too bouncy or it looks like too tight, you can always just tug on it a little bit and let it like relax. And like I said, I love this curling iron because it's just really easy to go through. Sometimes the clamps, like when they're like metal, it's like you can feel like your hair is getting pulled on, but with this one, it doesn't feel like that at all. It's really soft and it's really easy to go through. And you'll notice that when I move to this side, I'm actually gonna go in the opposite direction. A lot of the time, sometimes when you do your curls, if you do them all in the same direction, then you're not actually getting any curls, you're just getting a big wave. So the trick is that you need to actually go in opposite directions every time you curl a section, which you'll see me do around my head, but this is something that a lot of people make mistakes on because they're like, why does my hair always just form into one big wave? It's because you need to flip the direction of the curl. And I just want to share with you guys, obviously I did show you most of my products are from Monet because I am a market partner with them, but in no means am I saying that those are the only products you can use. You can definitely use what you have. If you have a dry shampoo, if you have a texturizing spray, if there's something in particular that you already have, you can use whatever line. So there's no like particular line. I will link everything I use in the description below. Don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe. I feel really good about the products that I'm using because I'm very educated on these products, so that's why I like to use them. But I have used other things in the past, so I'm not picky in that sense, but I have a preference, so that's why I showed you guys mainly those lines. But the bedhead is from TIGI, yeah, so you know there's different lines, but I do love Monet. Also, one thing to think about is before you even style your hair, there is a big difference between curls and waves. You want to make sure that your waves, if that's what you're looking for, are done with a bigger curling iron. Curls are a lot tighter. So even if you go to a hair salon and you're like, I want curls, more than likely they're going to give you something a little tighter. Waves are a lot looser. They're a lot more natural looking. Definitely distinguish which ones you want before you even start curling. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop another section and kind of show you guys what I mean when I say go in different directions. My section is not like perfect by any means because I'm just trying to get through with this hair. I have a lot of hair, it's really long. So I'm just gonna show you. Look crazy, but this is what girls look like when they're getting ready. Everything is just everywhere. So when it comes to this section, for instance, I'm gonna go inside this way. You notice that I'm coming in this way. My next piece is gonna go that way. That way your curls don't just all combine into one. I feel like that is just the most common thing that happens when you're trying to get a certain look and it just doesn't come out. So now I'm gonna take this section here and I'm gonna go that way. Always go the opposite direction. It makes the world of a difference. So like I said, notice this one's going in this way, and then this one is going to go the opposite way. The ones around the face, I do try to get towards a little bit more out. For instance, this one, I already know it's kind of lower, so I don't mind going inwards. Also, I want to point out, I know that there are some girls out there that have extra curly hair, so in order to actually see their hair curled, they have to straighten it first. But just remember, if you're gonna do something like that, try to blow dry as best as you can and just straighten the roots and not the ends. Like once your ends are straight, it's really hard to manipulate your hair to curl. Like you're basically like saying, I want you straight, and then you're like, wait, I want you curly. So it's really hard for your hair to actually do a curl when it's already pinned straight. So just try to leave out your ends, try to get like down, mid, maybe only straighten what needs to be straightened so it's not puffy or frizzy or have any like curly ridges. That way you can actually get your hair to curl and not just stay so flat. Does that make sense? I hope it does. It's okay if you're a little slower. You can take your time, try to do this on a day when you're not rushing so that you can really experiment with the curling iron and see if you really add a little bit more time in, like if you just slow down, if maybe your curls come out different than they have been. Also, I'll point out another thing. I don't ever use curling wands. So the wand, if you don't know what that is, or if you're having a hard time distinguishing what kind of iron you have, is the one that goes from really fat to really skinny. And that's because I don't ever get the waves or like the big voluminous curls with that wand, because they actually make the wave like very skinny at the end, so I don't actually get the curl that I want. So I've never been really a fan. If you have it, it's okay to try it anyways, but if you want curls like I'm putting out, then you're gonna have to actually use like a barrel and not so much like a wand, if that makes sense. Also, if you're not comfortable putting your hair inside the clamp, you're also more than welcome to just wrap all the way around. And it will do the same exact thing, and I'll show you that right now. So I'm just gonna hold it here. I mean, the only thing is you do have to hold it like a little longer versus the clamp actually holding this section, but you're more than welcome to wrap around as well if you're not as comfortable moving around with the clamp. Pretty much comes out the exact same way. Everybody pretty much knows their hair type and like how quickly their hair curls. I know my hair curls relatively quick. I can like let it out and I already know it's curled. The more you get comfortable with your curling iron and the more you do it, you'll get to know your hair better. If it's something that you're a little bit more new to, then, you know, just try to take your time. So now I'm going inwards. And what I like about going inwards more towards the face is with this piece, I'm actually gonna go outwards because I want my hair to be like flippy and big. This piece right here, if you get it as close to the bang as you can, make sure it's going inwards, because this piece right here, here's my tips and tricks, is going outward. And so I'm gonna hold this here. And this is such a tiny piece, I don't really need to hold it too long. It's gonna hook on to the side of my hair. So like when I go to brush it out, it's hooking onto this. So it's kind of like a puzzle piece. And even if you go inwards, for instance, say I like kind of regret this piece, like after I'm trying to like style it and tussle it, I can always manipulate it back. I'm not really like worried. If I'm like, oh, I don't really like the way that looks, I can always change it. Sometimes I'm like, why don't I just wrap around? But I don't know. I go through phases. Sometimes I like to wrap around. Sometimes I like to use the clamp. I'm weird. We all go through weird phases. Right now I'm in the clamp phase. I know a common question is like, how do you do the back? I do the back the same way I do the front. I just grab the section, put it on that baby, and wrap it up. Because honestly, I'm gonna comb these out, so even if it looks a little messy, I kind of like that look. If this is something that you enjoy seeing or like want to know more about, please don't hesitate to comment. Let me know what you guys want to see. I know I did get some of your requests on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, interact. I try to respond to all my messages, so if there's anything in particular that you want to share, like let me know. I try to be as good as I can with replying to messages, because that's what I would want if I was like following someone and trying to interact and like know them. Like we all have the opportunity to be friends, so that's what I like to do. And guys, curls are like a very versatile hairstyle. Like you can curl your hair for any occasion, I feel like. I know some people are like, oh, I only curl my hair when I'm like going out. Like girl, flex those curls, especially if you have like a great hair color. I'm like all about the curls. With my clients, I'm like, can I curl your hair? Sometimes they're like, oh, I just want it blow dried because like I never see my hair blow dried. Most of the time they let me curl it. So I'm like obsessed with curls. I like to see dimension in my hair. This is why I like to stay blonde, like that blonde brown life, because I like to see like different colors in my hair. That's why I typically stay on this color pattern, I feel like, because I can't get rid of it. And I don't want to be so solid. So if you're blonde or have a balayage, curls look amazing. You guys are probably like, dang, she goes through her hair fast. Like I said, hairstylist life. I'm like not afraid of a curling iron at all. Okay, so this is my last piece. I have it wrapped in there. I'm gonna just drop it. Bam. Now that everything is curled pretty good, the first thing I'm gonna do is go in with a little bit of texturizing spray. And let me show you guys like what happens when you texturize your hair. So you can see that my hair looks like it has volume, but I want a lot of volume. So I'm gonna go ahead and part my hair, and I'm gonna go ahead and bathe myself in some texturizing spray so you guys can see the magic that's about to happen. And I'm just gonna like rub it in my roots, just like dry shampoo pretty much. It's like the same motions, right? Look at the difference in the side. Some texturizing spray, no texturizing spray. Like what? I haven't even brushed out the curls yet, but like just for volume purposes, like whoa, we're looking at major volume. I just like to pull them out a little bit and like look at that. I'm gonna just show you like the difference inside. So then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my shine spray because your girl likes shiny hair. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with the smell of that. I'm not even gonna do hairspray because I do know my hair will hold. My hair has like really good texture. Like I have wavy hair naturally, so my hair is gonna hold the curl. Then what I'll do is take a little bit of the after part. I take literally, like, look how tiny that is. And I just go in and I just kind of brush out the curls because I want my curls to feel soft. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go on in this side, and I already know I want my hair to have a lot of volume, so I'm gonna go back in with my texturizing spray, and now I'm just like gonna flip my hair everywhere because I really want a lot of volume. This is how I do my hair personally. You don't have to do it this way, but if you feel like you like volume in your curls and you want them to be big, so texturizing spray is your girl's best freaking friend, okay? Like I said, if you're into volume, you need this spray in your life. No particular brand, but this is my favorite brand. I'm not ever gonna go back on that. I truly love this line. And look at this, like look at this volume. And I will like turn to the side so you guys can see. And this is how you get those big glam to the T curls. I hope that this tutorial helped you guys figure out a little bit maybe why your curls aren't holding, or some alternative ways to curl your hair if you didn't know, some fun facts. This is something that I hope to kind of share with you guys more, like what I do in the hair world. Obviously I showed you a little bit of my makeup routine. I really want to dip into this because I'm so passionate about hair, so that's why I was like, I have to do this hair curl tutorial. It's something that a lot of people ask me about, and I don't feel like I do anything in particular that's like any different than other people, nothing crazy special. So I feel like this is totally attainable. If you curl your hair, please tag me in the picture or the Instagram story, anything like that. Tag me, I want to see your curls. I hope this video helped you out, and we'll be back with another video.